first getting involved soon after Andrew Breitbart found me and took me in. And I remember getting involved, and there were small groups, and everyone was kind of in a fog, it seemed like, because this far left circle had taken power in our federal government, right? And I would say pretty far left, wouldn't you? And it took power, and everyone was kind of in a fog, and I've watched this grassroots movement do what the far left grassroots movement have failed to do, and that is that we've actually honored the rule of law, and we've organized, we set up candidates, we supported those candidates, we got those candidates in positions of power, and we honored our system, right? And that's not something that the far left revolutionaries do too often. You know, when they're talking about, when they throw things at us, right? And when they hate on our police officers, or when they hate on the rule of law on the border or in cities that we're seeing across the United States. But I'm gonna tell you something. I've watched this movement grow, and it occurred to me as I was walking up today that my now deceased friend, Andrew Breitbart, would be so proud of you. He would be so proud of this movement. How many of you agree with that? Yeah! He would be so proud of you. But folks, let me talk to you for a second, because as we progress from being people who, just average regular people who got together and joined forces and tried to get candidates elected and tried to really stand up for what we believed in, it's time that we grow further. It's time that we grow more. And there are things that apparently only average working people can do. Because like, how many of you realize that one of the things that we do is we spend most of our time on the border? How many of you know that? We spend most of our time on that border, and we spend most of our time north of the border and a lot of our time south of the border trying to really understand, developing sources with federal agents and with local law enforcement and sheriffs and local citizens on both sides of the border, trying to understand and know what's really going on. And I listen to some folks, and you know, like, it's like Vietnam and put up a machine gun. You know, I'm not really that guy, but I'll tell you who I am. Is I'm someone who believes that we are the only ones who are actually, as everyday people, who are actually going to make changes on that border. You know, we had 12 years or 14 years of Rick Perry. Were there a lot of changes on that border? No. Were there? No, there were not. You know, there were not. So it's us who are going to make those changes. It's the average people who are going to make those changes. You know, something that we started recently, we started a project called the Cartel Chronicles. How many of you are aware that that's going on right now? You got to be aware of it. You guys, listen to me, please. We need, it's not something that people in power can do. It's not something that politicians can do, because politicians often get corrupted, right? This is what we need, is we need you folks to pay attention to what we're doing on the border and help support those stories and help talk to people. Because most people vote for the left. Why did they vote for Barack Obama? Why did most people say they voted for Barack Obama? Because they think he cares more about other people than we do. That's a false narrative. That's a false narrative that the left has used historically to come and take power across the world, is that they care about people and we don't care about people. That's the narrative that they've used. And what I propose is that we can care about people and we can demand the rule of law be enforced at the same time. It's all about our attitudes. It really is, guys. So what we've done is we've taken on those corrupt cartels in Mexico, which is kind of scary to do, so I'm really needing your back here because I'm feeling kind of alone. We've taken on those corrupt cartels. We found the few journalists left in Mexico who are willing to write about them and expose their corruption, and we've hired them. And now we post their reports. We post them in English for people here, and we post them in Spanish for people there, trying to root out corruption. But one of the problems that we've come into is we started to realize that a lot of that Mexico corruption is in South Texas in the border region. Yeah. A lot of that's in our country. And we have to do something about it. And the only way we're going to do something about it is if people like you find those stories, share those stories, and talk with people about what's going on. Guys, I am profoundly proud of you and of this movement, and I'm honored to be here today. And I thank you for having me here, because I'm telling you what, I'm from Pasadena, Texas. I have a GED. I finished 8th grade, okay? Somehow or another, through a series of life events and through God, I'm now the managing director of a rather large news organization. Go figure. And none of that would have been possible without this Tea Party movement, because Andrew Breitbart found me under attack from the left for helping law enforcement stop bomb plots against people like you. And he found me under attack, and he began to talk to Tea Party groups about me and my story, and you guys took me in, and I will never forget that. Thank you so much.